Today's guest is Melly Fernandez, also known by her stage name, Parvo. Parvo is a comedian and a clown, and somebody that I'm happy to call my friend. Today we're going to get to know her a little bit better, as she tells us some stories about clowning, her experiences in her mother's home country of Spain, and the time her parents held a trial when they thought that she was a witch. Enjoy. A true American pastime.
I went shooting, yeah.
Was that the first time that you had ever been shooting?
Yes, I've never been shooting before. I wasn't opposed to it, but nothing had ever made it a situation in my life. But then my mother, it was her 61st birthday, and then she told me and my siblings, like, I want to go shooting. So you're like, okay, I guess we gotta find a shooting range for our mother to get her aggression out. So my older siblings took care of that. I think my brother knew where this place was in New Hampshire. I don't remember the name of it.
Had any of your siblings shot before? That was the first time for all of you?
Just my brother.
Okay.
And it made me go like, I wonder why exactly he's so good at shooting these guns right now. But yeah, I mean, my brother has a really cool history that I don't even know completely about, but you know, growing up on the streets of Eastie and all that. But and I've like met strangers who like know his name on the street. His name, like, that people know him by is Lexi. Like, he has like a alter ego like I do.
Okay.
Like Parvo, he has it Lexi. And I've met strangers who, like, I've brought up his name and they're like, how do you know Lexi? Like, anyway. So yeah, he was pretty good at shooting guns.
You're like, we're just gonna move past this.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's exciting. It's a true American pastime. And in the future, if you guys want to go, just let me know, and we can do it in a much more, I guess, relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah, that would be good
because it
because it was like an indoor range, and I feel like,
outdoors is significantly better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's intimidating, like to hear people that you don't know next to you shooting these things that can end your life in a second is like, it's a lot of trust.
It was loud as hell in there, and I was like, oh, so this is what it's like to be in a war zone. Like, and it made me go like, I wouldn't like that at all. I'm a very peaceful lady. I like to like be in front of the ocean, and I get overwhelmed easily, so it definitely sucked out my energy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Did your mother enjoy it?
No. Literally the whole car.
That was her idea, right?
Yes. So the whole car ride there, she was like going on this crazy rant where she was just like, she was like, I'm going to shoot these guns, and then I'm going to own the gun, and I will exercise my right to open carry. And we were like, you can't open carry. And then she was just like, I don't know. It was funny. She was like, it felt like she was like putting on like some sort of conservative character, because she was also saying other things that I'll spare her, and I won't say what she was saying, but and then she does it, and then afterwards she was like, I don't think I like guns.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of do you know what it was? Do you know what kind of gun you shot? You just pick one out of
I think it was a 9mm
okay.
Handgun.
Yeah.
And then my brother also brought us like a revolver, like cowboy style revolver, and that one was definitely a lot harder for me to hold, because it's just because it's a big gun.
Yeah.
But that one was cool. I mean, like, the fire was coming out of it, and I literally, I don't know, I was shooting the ceiling by accident.
That happens.
I was not.
Yeah, that's the drama of a public range, and being indoors is definitely a lot more intimidating.
I know, dude. I'm into like, I like weapons, so I thought I would have liked it, but I like weapons that require like a philosophy and a discipline. Not that that doesn't, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I like something that I could do Tai Chi with.
Yeah,
like,
there's like an art to it.
yeah, like a sword. And you already know this. I've said that to you like a million times. Like,
okay.
I've tried to take your swords before. Or like a whip, you know, like you can open carry a whip in every state.
That's true.
So it's much more logical to have a whip.
Yes, and I think that would be a much more entertaining police report and court case.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Defendant A had a,
yeah,
a whip, produced a whip. The judge is up there.
Produced a whip. That's a really good phrase. I'm out here just like producing whips. That's how I want people to think of me for sure. But like, you know, in a non-sexual way, we've really sexualized whips in our culture, and I just want to take us back to like the frontier.
Yeah, the lion taming days.
Yeah. Circus, whips, Zorro.
I think the accessories along with the whip will help define your character. Like if you had like a little red stool, people might think lion tamer. But if you're wearing leather, dominatrix.
Yeah, it's very context dependent. Like, but I don't know. I'm not really like, I'm not anti-kink community, but I don't really feel like a connection at all, like to BDSM or like kink culture. I feel like a lot of that is, I feel like this kind of like, you have to be kind of really nerdy about it to belong. You have to be like, this is like the exact way if I torture like your clitoris that but then I'll step back and then we'll do an aftercare session that'll be 30 minutes long, and then I'll bring the third member of our polycule in. And I don't know. I just go with vibes.
Yeah, it's too much planning. Too much paperwork.
Yeah.
It's good.
So there's some of my ideas. But yeah, you know a lot about weapons though. I don't know. What's your favorite weapon?
I don't know. Probably a knife, some kind of a stick. I don't know. That's a terrible answer. I've never quite thought about my favorite weapon. Yours is a whip, you think?
No.
No? You're inspired by the versatility of the whip?
Actually, I don't know why I've been on such a... Like, I don't know. You know what? I think ideally my favorite one would be like a ceremonial dagger.
Okay.
That you can really... It would be beautifully ornate. And if my enemy was to strike me and decimate me, they could retrieve this dagger from me and kind of have a bit of my soul in it. But whips aren't that as beautiful as something like that. And
they're not as soul-bearing.
Yeah.
As your ceremonial knife.
Yeah.
So somebody gets to kill you and then they keep your primary weapon.
Yeah.
Your
yes.
ceremonial piece.
Yeah.
And
I don't
then
know.
they just hang it up in their wall and they go, I took that.
Yeah.
When I took Parvo's life.
Yeah, it took my soul from me.
On the path.
It's worse than taking my wife. But, you know, that's like, you know, like that, I mean, I haven't been in history class in a long time, but
Still the same.
Yeah, you're like, I've checked it out. It's still the same. But like, you know how you learn in history, like, basically like when a civilization was being conquered, they would like just like smash out the eyes and the statues and stuff to like take out the power of like the figure, and or like I don't know, it's just like you take people's like art
and destroy it
or like take it in order to like really conquer them. It's something.
Yeah, it's true. You really beat somebody down when you take away their ability to express themselves.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah.
If that happened. Have you ever been in a situation in your life where someone took your ability to express yourself?
No. I don't know. Maybe the military. When I was in the Air Force, that's what they say. That's like a really popular reason a lot of guys in the military get tattoos is because we all like look the same. You're all uniform, like shaved head, somewhat fit, and then wearing a uniform all the time. But I never like, I don't know, maybe that's like subconscious, but I never made that as like I never was like, oh, we all look the same, so I want to get a tattoo to look different.
Mm.
I was always just like, I want to get a tattoo.
Mhm.
So that's really the only time. Has anything like that ever happened to you where you haven't been able to express yourself?
Sort of like like I grew up in like a Spanish immigrant household, and like I feel like I'm a very stubborn person, so I always end up doing what I want anyways, but like I feel like me expressing how weird I am, or how like my own uniqueness, it was kind of discouraged at times, like growing up. So I guess in a way, like,
You're encouraged to be more traditional.
yeah, I feel like breaking things like gender norms or expectations, yeah, that was like not really encouraged or supported. Like, yeah, like my own like big rebellion once when I was like 16 was to get my hair cut really short.
Oh, wow.
And then I faced my parents were really mad at me for a while.
Dang. Did they make you grow it back out?
No. But like, yeah, I mean, they like, I don't know, it was just weird. It was just like, particularly my dad was just like really upset with me, like, and everything. And so I feel like growing up, it's been like a longer journey, like fully expressing like how weird I am or something. And I feel like it's great though. Like the older I get, the more I'm like finding new ways to be my weird self, and like there's levels to this shit. It's great. And I don't know, I fully plan on being like an alien. like like a whole creature in like 10 years.
That's awesome. That's a great aspiration. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Do you feel that having your creativity suppressed is what kind of drove you into the world of clowning? What is there a term for that? Is that close?
Clowning? Yeah, clown. It's just clown.
Clowning around.
Clowning around. Really, I didn't even know. So I started doing like stand up. I started going to open mics, I would say 7-ish years ago. And when I started, it took a long time for me to like do my first set ever, because it took like the moment I knew that I wanted to do stand up, it took another year for me to be like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Wow.
Because I wanted it to be like authentic to me.
Yeah.
And then, so I started doing weird stuff.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat. I've always done like weird stuff on stage, like character monologues or like things like that. And then I think I was doing clowning without realizing that it was clowning. I was just like, this is just me doing stand-up. And then I had a sketch partner, Alex Derdarian, and me and her, we would like write together and like perform together and stuff. But she like was taking these like clown classes online, and one time someone booked her to do like a clown thing at like a birthday party.
Okay.
And she asked me if I wanted to join her. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted, I think being a clown would be cool. Like, clowns are cool. I've never had like a anti-clown thing or anything. These people out here, they're against clowns for some reason. They're just so funny and silly. Like, how can they, what's the problem with clowns? Anyway, so that was like just a couple years ago. And then I started realizing like there's a whole world of like this whole physical theater world of clown. And then I started kind of being more interested in it and being like, okay, like, how do I pursue that?
So you felt that your comedy was leading you towards clownmanship. And then you were able to find a space where you felt creative and comfortable, and you related to some people that were also clowning around.
Yeah, like actually starting to do open mics was maybe the greatest thing I've ever decided to do, because it's led me to all the people I know now that, like, I would never have found out that I loved to do sketch comedy, that I like to improvise, like that, that I love physical theater. Like, part of like how I grew up was also that, like, I don't know, I didn't even know I liked theater, so I'm not really like a theater kid. I think some people think I might be, but I literally have only been doing theater stuff in the last 2 years, and it's only been like, some workshops. And I find myself sometimes like out of my depth a little bit with other people, like, people like talk in such a like a I don't know, academic way about theater in these workshops, or like
They're trying to be exclusive in a way. I think they're trying to like project that they have their own lingo.
Yeah,
I feel like any group kind of does that. So
yeah,
it's a barrier for entry.
You're right. Like, in a way, like, stand-ups, we probably do the same thing. Like, it's like, are you not being hard and, like, offensive right now? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, are you not using dirty language as much as possible? Like, you don't belong here. And I love that. Like, I feel like at my core, I'm always gonna be, like, I don't know, like, I love the unpretentiousness of stand-up, and, like, I was in art school, and then in like before I started doing open mics, I thought that I was gonna be like a performance artist, like a
dancer.
No, like a do you know like
mime?
No, mime is very recent. Do you know like Marina Abramovich, or like?
I have a poster over my bedroom wall.
You do?
No, I've never heard of her in my life.
Okay, I truly believe you. Well, I don't know, stuff like that where it's like,
who is Marina Abramovich?
Like, she's like a is she like I think she's Serbian. Like, okay, wait. So performance art is like endurance based performance art is like you're just like
Iron Man.
What'd you say?
Like the Iron Man, like running and swimming.
You
said endurance. I'm trying to make a bad joke.
I'm trying to be like that. Like, I want to. That would be better. But like the endurance-based performance art is way dumber. Like in a beautiful way. But it's like she would do things like just like, I don't know. Like, it's like standing still for like 8 hours at a time, or like rolling in a carpet for 8 hours, like slowly from one end of the room to the other, or it's like stuff that, like, it's like, why would you do this thing? It's really not easy to do. It's just like it's like seeing how far you can go with your body and all that stuff
for art
in the name of art. And anyway, so I was in college thinking I wanted to do that kind of thing. And then I realized that I wanted to do funny stuff. And I don't know, I just ended up like dropping out of school.
Where were you going to school?
Mass art. I dropped out twice from mass art. And then I just dropped out, and then I feel like I switched. I don't know, like, a lot of things were going on at that time, but then I just started doing like open mics, and then that led me to meeting fellow odd comedians like Jed's basement, like in Jed's basement, like those days, and learning and like writing sketches and like improvising, and then eventually that led me to like other odd people, and like I feel like comedy is like my main love for that reason. It's
absolutely
just like,
yeah, it helps you meet other people that are trying to do the same things that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then you feel like less strange about it. When you're out here in like the regular world where everybody's just working and has jobs and doesn't think any of these kinds of thoughts, you're like, hey, I'm trying to make a sketch about, like whatever weird topic, and they're just like, what?
Oh, it's the
Never.
worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst trying to explain your life to people who it's like I feel like it's a what is it, like a stereotype of like how comedians, they don't tell people they're comedians, like, right? Because like then they'll just go like, tell me a joke, or like they'll be like I don't know, that then they'll be too interested in you, then they'll be like, I want to go to a show, or like, and then it's just like, no. Like, this is too much attention all at once now. But yeah, and it's like also hard to describe what you do, like, you know.
It's just so foreign that people don't know. They have no frame of reference to even like know what to ask.
Yeah.
So you said you started in 2017. Have you done stand up outside of Massachusetts?
Yeah, I've been to like in LA. I've done some stuff in LA a couple times. Denver, Orlando.
Nice.
Been
across this great country, up in Maine.
Maine,
Beautiful.
yeah.
It's so interesting how different people are in Maine. It's so close, but it's so far.
Yeah, they seem like a close-knit community there. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like Empire in Portland?
I have not.
It's a cool venue. But yeah, I've opened for like Alan Richardson there when he was doing Sad Man. And that was fun. Those were fun times. I really like doing like duo stuff.
Okay.
So
the first time that I saw you was with your clown partner.
Yeah, Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
She's really funny too.
She's so funny. She's unbelievably funny. And
what was the name? You guys were, because you were both clowns. You both were wearing like red and had your face painted like yellow. What?
Okay,
so what was
hold
that? That was like almost 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Are you talking about the photo or something?
I saw you on stage. You guys did a whole act.
Oh, was that when? Oh, wait, was that when it was Man and Boy? Maybe like was she teaching me something?
I think so.
Man and Boy. So Man and Boy. I was, for the record, my face was not painted yellow. And
Sorry.
Man and Boy.
Okay,
but
I'm mixing up. I think I have there's a picture of you, right?
I have been like a face painted clown before where I was putting yellow there.
Okay.
But it was because when I draw Parvo, which is like my clown character, I use like a lot of yellow. And anyway, I just
okay.
say that.
Just clearing it up that you
Clearing
weren't
up.
painted yellow.
I wasn't doing yellow face.
Okay.
Wait.
Nobody thought you were a Chinese clown, Melly.
When I first walked in here, I was like, Jake, yeah, this is like a very, and then I couldn't, and then I like paused for a long time. It's like, yeah, there's a Eastern air.
I had to be careful a little bit with the theme. I didn't want to go over the top. Like,
Yeah.
I lived in Japan for 4 years, so my mom actually at one point, she was like, look, she's like, we're not Japanese. Stop sending us stuff home, like for Christmas and stuff, or like
Oh, really?
birthdays. I'd send like, like tapestries, or like, this is like a vase that's got like Japanese text on it, and I would send different things home. And so over a few year period, it amassed like all this random Japanese stuff in the house.
I think it's all beautiful,
Yeah.
I'm the person who's not opposed to expressing yourself with like whatever you're drawn to from multiple cultures. Like, I don't see a problem with that.
Except for 1940s Germany. Yeah, we can't express ourselves with that culture, right?
I mean, certain things maybe. Like, I think they still ate wurst.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, maybe no. Maybe because they couldn't even have coffee back then, and
They weren't allowed
everything
to
was
have
like
coffee?
rationed, right?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, yeah, I wasn't there, bro.
I suppose it's been documented, though. I'm sure some people know. I guess it's kind of an asshole answer. I'm sorry.
You know what? When we look into what happened in 1940 in Germany, no one was really looking into what the hell were they eating, like day to day. I was just thinking about how how there are like wars over spices, like
The Spice Wars.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's where the Spice Girls came from.
the spice first. If you want to have some pepper, you gotta
Destabilize
Pry
my
it-
government.
pry it out of my dead cold hands. But I was thinking, if someone took like pepper away from me, I would be killing people in a week. Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like spice is fucking real. Like I don't want to go without spice in my life, like salt. And do you like paprika? Are you a paprika fan?
I'm not a paprika fan at all, actually.
Have you tried it?
I'm sure I've had it at some point, but I don't.
Hold on.
Are you gonna give me a spoonful of it?
You're gonna need to try yourself some smoked Hungarian paprika, my friend.
Whoa, that sounds cool.
It's really good.
How would you describe the flavor of smoked Hungarian paprika?
Like all it is really is like, you like red bell pepper?
Not particularly.
Oh, maybe you won't like. Well,
Yeah.
it's
I'm
actually
not a huge pepper fan.
You're not?
No, I get steak and cheese, just cheese. I don't get the peppers.
Well, you don't
and
get the
onions.
steak. It's cheese. You just get steak and cheese. Hold the steak.
Hold the steak. Give me a bun with cheese in it.
Have you had that steak and cheese with the fried chicken fingers in it? It's like that's a Beverly. You can get that in Super Subs in Beverly.
That sounds dangerous. I haven't had that. They call it. What do they call it? Has it got a crazy name?
No, I think it's just a chicken finger sub.
There's a place that does something with like chicken fingers and French fries and like something else all in a wrap.
That sounds like my type of shit. I'm trying to avoid that though, like, but that's genuinely like speaks to me.
It's a true New England classic though. The food we have around here, like the roast beef sandwiches and like the salads and the pizzas and all the sides you can get, Bill and Bob's, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so delicious.
It's really good. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of try not to eat that stuff unless I'm like drunk, and unfortunate to say, like, there's just been I feel like if I look back, cuz we do comedy and like, well, you don't drink, right?
No, but I did.
That's awesome that you don't.
Well,
how long have you been teeter-totaling?
What does that mean?
Is that what it's called? Teeter-totaling?
Teeter-totaling? I've never heard that in my life.
When you don't drink.
There's what is it called? Let's find out. Let's see. I've been not drinking since I got out of the Air Force, so it was like 2017.
Jamie, pull that up. Do we know what?
Yeah,
how to spell teeter-totaling?
Teeter-toter.
Wait.
It could be.
No, that's teeter-totter.
Oh, teeter-totter.
You want to go on a teeter-totter?
I can't read.
I think it's teetotaling actually.
Teetotaler.
Yeah, teetotaling, sorry.
Here we go, AI. Teetotalism is the practice or promotion of total personal abstinence from the consumption of alcohol.
I was the one adding the syllables in there.
Teetotalism. Yeah, I guess I practice teetotalism. It sounds intense. I just drank a ton when I was younger. Here's the thing that's wild about Japan is they don't care. Like in America, they're very strict about like consumption and overpouring and like over serving. In Japan, like you could be drooling and like dying and they'll put a drink in your hand. They don't care. So we would drink to that point.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
And stuff didn't close either. Like so you could drink till 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we would.
That's the advantage of other countries. Like here is like it's fucking lame. It's lame. Everything closes so early. What was I gonna say? Yeah, isn't that kind of an epidemic of like businessmen in Japan like work really long hours and then they just drink themselves like to the point they're like collapsing on the streets after their shifts and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're allowed to just lay there. That's the thing that's kind of wild. We would lose guys because of that, because you could like get drunk and fall asleep like in a park, and like a cop isn't gonna really do anything to you, or like I don't know. So guys would get drunk and then go fall asleep somewhere, and we'd see them again like a few days later.
That's crazy. The policeman would look at them like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, yeah, if I was doing what you did, buddy. I mean, the policemen are just gonna like get off their shift and be the one on the street too, like just out of uniform.
Yeah, the culture there is you have to like stay until your boss leaves. So it's the same at work and at the bar. So like they work all day because the boss doesn't leave, and then the boss brings everybody to the bar, and he's like, "You guys are gonna drink until I say we're done." And so some people can't handle their liquor and they end up on the sidewalk.
Damn, I'd be truly screwed if I was in that situation. My bosses work a lot harder than I do, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really like working hard. I like to work hard in like
when you're
things
inspired.
I care about, like my career, like as. performer.
That's the
blah, blah,
dilemma
blah,
that we all face.
I know, right?
And here we are.
And here we are.
trying to push on through. How many times have you been to Spain?
I've been to Spain. Just like growing up, I think it was every few years, and then it's like slowed down to like, for instance, the last time I went was 5 years ago, and then before that was like 8 years.
Oh wow.
But we would go, to visit our family like every few years growing up.
And what is like one of your favorite parts about that? Like, do you have a good memory of being over there as a kid, or you ever see any cows or anything? Any
Let me tell
bicycle
you.
races?
Like, all my favorite memories as a kid are from Spain. I saw cows. We would stay at my grandparents' farm, and so yes, I saw, like, we had a cow. We had chickens and like goats and rabbits and all that stuff, and then it's like in the mountains, and it's in Galicia, which is like the northwest part of Spain. So I don't know, like I always found it like all the smells I had, like, and all the sights from there were like the things that were like my favorite things.
Good core memories.
Yeah, I don't know, like I think people from Galicia, we're very proud of our land. So it's almost to an extent where I think Americans would be like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say like nationalist, because it's not nationalist, but like there's definitely a big pride.
You can have pride in where you're from.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Americans would think that they were over the top, comparatively?
Well, I think it's because like I feel like a lot of people who grew up in America with like generations of their own parentage and stuff, like growing up here as well, like they kind of lose a sense of connection to a certain culture.
The old country.
And I'm a little too close to the old world. There's a little too much of a connection to the old world. So
it's so different. That's what's wild.
It's so different. Like, yeah. Like when I say old world, like my dad has accused me of being a witch, like growing up. Like that's how old world we're talking.
Is that when you cut your hair?
Wow, that's a good question. Was it after or before? It was after. Yeah, it was after.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so you had short hair, and then he thought you were a witch. It wasn't like because of the witching wasn't the cause of the short hair.
We have to like wonder what's the source of like the witch accusations. I think part of it was that I did indeed have an altar. But also like, I do think it was like sexism too. Like, he also accused my sister of being a witch when she was just 14.
I mean, you guys did have the hats on, and were making a stew with a cauldron in the backyard, though, right?
Well, you got to make it in a cauldron. How else are you going to get that smoked flavor?
Did he ever do any, like, witch trials with you guys? He's like, come outside in the pool. We're going to see if you float.
He did a witch trial with me once. A sort of a witch trial. Like, okay, here's the witch trial, if you would so like to hear.
Let's hear it.
Well, the witch trial would be like, here's the trial to find out if you are a witch. Is like, one time. Also, like, okay, a big reason he thought that I was a witch was because I was super depressed when I was 18. And I was depressed because I was living in that house. Like with him, and like and I won't go into that stuff, but like it was not it was a dark time in my life, and so I would be in bed a lot, not going to class. I was like really not doing so hot, and he thought, she's probably possessed by the devil. The devil's probably possessing her. So him and my mom came into my room once, and they were like, oh, we're going to try and rub this egg on you. And I was like, why? And then they were like, yeah, so if we like crack it and we see like there's like blood in the yolk, then we'll know if you're like possessed by the devil.
And you were 18?
Yeah. And I was like, get out of my room.
You didn't let them crack the egg?
No, because I didn't let them rub it. Because here's the thing. I looked it up. There's like a 1 in 100,000 chance that there's blood in an egg, and I was not taking that chance. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because there's no way you're convincing them after the fact.
I'm not living that down. Yeah. Like, everyone's going to be like, well, remember that one time that she had the blood in the egg? Like, fuck you. Like, yeah, I wasn't going to take that chance.
That's also got to be kind of tough to, like, go down and hang out with your family after they've accused you of that, too, right?
Well, like, you mean, was it hard? Like,
yeah, when you were there thinking your parents thought you were a witch.
Dude, yeah. It was hard.
I'm not a witch.
My life was so hard.
Or you're like, take some acid and you're like, am I a witch?
Am I a witch?
Do my parents know better than me?
My problem is the definition of what a witch is. It's like, like, I think everyone has their own way, like, definition of it, their own relationship with that word. But I'm like, it's like there's good humans and there's bad humans. There's no such, actually, I take that back. I don't believe there's good and bad humans. Okay. But you know what I mean when you're just like, I don't fuck with that guy.
Yes.
Or I fuck with that guy, rather.
Yeah.
There's witches you wouldn't want to fuck with, and then witches. So, like, there's, you can engage in witchery and, like, be a positive influence on others.
So you accepted the belief that your parents thought you were a witch, and you try to convince them that you were a good witch.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I hated their idea.
Dad, listen, all right? There's some people that you like and don't like, right?
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones that you'll like.
You know what? I was one of those ones he didn't like. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you don't have to like me. God damn it.
You're like, Dad, why do you assume that I wouldn't do witchcraft for you? That'd be my first question.
You really learn, like, not everyone has to like you or like understand what you're about, and
most people don't,
and that's okay. But no, I mean, like, I don't really like self-describe as a witch, but I was like interested in Wicca and everything back then. But
it's one of the options when you go to boot camp.
Yeah.
On Sundays, or like, it's part of the Constitution, like the freedom of religion, right? So they can't stop you from practicing your religion at boot camp. So those guys that were like Seventh-day Adventists, they would go to church on Saturday. If you were Jewish, you'd go to synagogue. Muslim, go to temple. Most people just went to the like non-denominational church where they just kind of sang Christian songs and whatnot. But there was a Wiccan option, and they gave you food. Mm-hmm. So you would hear, like, the guys would, like, kind of, like, gossip about it. And they'd be like, hey, if you go to the Wiccan church, you can get food, you can eat.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And then, like, the Buddhist church, they would let you sleep. So I would go to the Buddhist church. And they like, chant. They chant, and they have, like a little bit, like, a drum, and then, like, some kind of, like, a Asian-sounding guitar.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice. And then, like, yeah, you would just pass an hour long, and then, like, I'd be there for, like, 20 minutes, and then I'd pass out. And then they wake you up at the end.
That sounds healing, actually. That sounds really soothing.
It was nice. Yeah, church was like even if you're not religious, it's a break from the boot camp experience. So everybody was going to church.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad there was like a chance to like engage in your like spiritual side of some sort, or at least get some freaking free food.
Yeah,
that's good. I wonder why the Wiccans were the ones given the food. That's funny.
Yeah, I never thought about it. I didn't ask him. I didn't go to that one either. I just heard it from. No, I went to the Buddhist one or the non-denominational, because they would sing. That was really fun too. I was like, I'd only been to Catholic church where it's like it's like psalm singing. It's like old people and a priest. This was like all of us, and we were young, so it was a completely different experience.
That's what I grew up with too. I grew up Catholic.
Yeah, that's a very intense church experience.
Yeah. I had some intense experiences, like, with, like, growing up in Catholic school. Like, I think other people have had worse ones. Like, I've only
probably.
Yeah. Like, as far as you know, what I've experienced. But, like, yeah, I have some funny stories. Did you get funny stories from from growing up Catholic?
I had a tough time at that school. I was really rebellious. I was my whole school experience was always pushing back against the system, so that was definitely no different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was never like an altar boy. I was very suspicious of the whole thing. I have a picture of me at our second communion, or your second grade first communion, and everybody has their hands like folded like they're praying, and I'm in the back and my hands are not touching.
Oh.
And I was like, nice job, dude.
Yeah.
Looking back at myself.
It's about the little wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in that. It's about the little wins to keep your independence in your soul. Like, these fucking institutions, they really want you to bow down and...
Absolutely.
And conform completely. I don't know. When
I went to boot camp in 2010, they were having like photographers come through with different groups, and then they were putting pictures on Facebook. It was the first time that you could like, your parents could like get an access code and they could see photos of you while you're at boot camp. And there's a picture of me, and I'm actually like running up a hill. I got a helmet on and a rifle. Yeah. And as soon as I saw the cameraman, I just couldn't stop smiling. Oh. So I like kind of look all tough with this gun and the helmet, but I'm just smiling like ear to ear.
The boy just wants his gun.
And so my mother told me like after the fact that when she saw that photo, she like knew I was okay.
That's good.
I don't know. She was, because that's the thing. Like, I didn't know anything when I went in. She knew like what could happen and like what it could be like. And so when she saw that I didn't like become indoctrinated, I guess, or get brainwashed by the war machine.
That's good. Yeah, you don't seem like you are. Like you seem very like a relaxed person, kind of like more like with an artistic bent. I don't know. I'm not trying. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
That's exactly how I describe myself in my bio. A relaxed person with an artistic bend.
Yeah, I'm a chill guy. You go, I'm a chill guy.
He's a chill guy.
That's actually what I like to describe to myself. Like
chill guy.
Yeah, like that's the persona. Like that's what I want to project to people is that I'm a chill guy. Like a chill guy who kind of low key doesn't give a fuck. That's why. And like I feel like every year I get better at truly embodying being a chill guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of exciting that we all started at the same time or in the same area and then ended up like back together.
I feel like honestly Will and Deanna have made my life so much better, and it's actually really cool to know like, oh, like I remember them from a really long time ago and doing some stuff with them, like some part of like some sketch show stuff with them, and like, you know, being like friends at more of a distance, and now we're so close that it's like, it's just cool. Life is just amazing.
Yeah.
Life is really amazing. You never know what's going to happen.
It's true.
Or how it's going to evolve or develop, and you know, all the good and the bad. But like when it's good, it's like, how the hell is this happening? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I mean, that's part of why I stayed here. Like after COVID, you know, like I was trying to get stuff going over in Asia, and then it flatlined with COVID. But then I had enough like worldly experience that I could see a lot of benefit in being in this area and like all the potential that's kind of growing here.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're doing this. Yeah, it's been really cool to see the growing community here, and I don't know, like we need community, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big bounce back from COVID too. Everybody was so isolated. It's kind of neat to have it all back around again.
I know. I don't even like, even when you say COVID, like I can't even like imagine my life during COVID. It was just so awful. Like it was so awful that when people say COVID, I don't even like, my brain won't even let myself go into specifically like what was occurring. I'm just like,
I think a lot of people.
I'm like, like, I don't know. It's just right now. Like, this is my life now. Thank you.
Block that time and just.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recognize the person anymore. It's really cool. You can just be a completely different person at any time. You can choose this shit. I think they call that
schizophrenia.
No, but it's true.
Is Parvo coming out?
Yeah. Wait, do you know what Parvo is?
I would like for you to tell me where you got the name Parvo.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay. So Parvo is basically my alter ego. And it's a character that kind of came to me like about 7 years ago. But I was just drawing, and then I was just starting to draw. Like, I used to draw my stand-up sets before I did them, because they would be very physical. And but I was like drawing this girl, and I just like came up with the name Parvo. And Parvo just means stupid in Galician. And I was telling you, my family's from Galicia.
Okay.
It just means stupid or silly. And so I like, she's just like, basically she's like a jester girl. She's like the spirit of all jesters through space and time. So she's like an immortal clown god. And she's supposed to be like a crazy young girl. Like, she's like totally like unhinged and like just completely unhinged. Yeah, so
Parvo,
that's
the
what Parvo
immortal
is.
clown god.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really unique. And you do a great job, but you definitely embody that on stage.
Thank you.
And,
yeah.
When you do your like duos with Alex too, it's so funny.
Yeah. Sometimes I've worried or have thought, like, I feel like people who only know me as Parvo or like what I do on stage wouldn't like they might think I'm actually like that. I've had people tell me before, like, when I've seen you on stage, like, I could tell you were like unhinged, but I didn't know if you were like the good kind of unhinged or like, you know, how you would be like blah blah. But I get it. Like, I stay trying to swerve these red flag having ass people out here.
Gang.
But you know, there's a lot of people that will try to steal your soul. I don't. So it's good to avoid people who give off.
You want to avoid people that will
unhinged
try and steal
vibes.
your soul. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're pretty? Do you feel like you are sensitive to like signs of like, okay, wait, like I'm gonna be more guarded with this person, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, are you generally trusting? Or are you more like, okay, like I gotta be self-protective? Like,
Yeah, I think there's definitely certain people you feel they can be more open with.
yeah.
Right off the bat, I would say I'm pretty like reserved. I try to like get a feel for what someone's gonna be like before I kind of show my true colors. But that's one of the funnest things about comedies. You can almost like skip, like when you're with comedians,
Yeah.
you're just like, that Band-Aid's like already gone.
I know, it's so great.
Yeah. Like one of the best examples was unfortunately right when Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter accident. I was in Thailand and this comic came up to me and he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "let me run some Kobe jokes by you."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like,
Yeah.
I just started laughing already. And he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "See man, that's why I love comics." He's like, "I try to ask my regular friends and he's like, they got mad. He's like, they told me it's
Yeah.
too soon. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't write this." And I was like, "Fuck that!" I was like, "Tell me your Kobe jokes, dude."
Yeah.
And I didn't even really know the guy. We were both, backstage at the comedy club. So
I feel like, being around comedians has really desensitized me to like it's just normal to me if someone makes a 9/11 joke. Like, it's just,
or any kind of joke, really.
yeah.
You feel that your baseline is completely like in the red zone when you see somebody completely like lose it to something.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know what people do anymore. Like, I don't know what's normal anymore.
I remember telling a joke in a really small space. There's probably only like maybe like 6 or 10 people, and they were like an arm's length away. And I told this like really raunchy story because I was practicing it for a bigger night. And this woman, like an older woman, probably in her 60s, like was taking a sip of a drink right as I was saying something graphic, and she like coughed her drink as like a reaction. She's like, "Oh," because of what I said.
Oh, that's great.
And that's what I felt too. But then I was like, oh yeah, I was like, you say these things like every day. You practice them in your head, so you lose the emotional connection in a sense. That when you start to
definitely
talk about like your asshole or like taking a shit or like something crazy and weird.
I definitely know what you're talking about. I just like uploaded that reel of me being like the saucy old woman character,
Yeah.
right? And in that,
Aunt Winnie.
like, literally Aunt Winnie is all just me being like, talking about like, oh, like I won't fuck below the age of 34, like I like I won't fuck a penis under 6 inches. And when I did have that 6.5 inch, saw that, like, I was like, get out of my room. Like, I
And
don't.
you were also drinking. You had a bottle of Prosecco thrown back the whole time.
Yeah, actually, I did. There was a point that I was definitely got drunk on stage, but yeah, like, and then like I'm like editing that reel. Like I was like a few hours editing that thing, and then I like it was to the point where I was like, I don't even know this is funny. Like I don't think is this actually
you keep
funny?
Hearing it. You're like,
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Is this actually funny and is this actually offensive? Like what is this? Like it's probably not that offensive. Like I don't know, but everyone has a different sensibility, tolerance level to like language and threshold and and I have friends who are not like I hang around people who are also not comedians, like like I'm an artist, I'm not just, so it's like I have some friends who are like maybe like musicians or painters, and like I realize like, oh, okay, maybe I'm being a little like what's the word, like not brash but like crass or something.
Yeah, crass is the word. Yeah. Brash is like, I guess, if you're telling somebody the truth about them, right?
Like too direct maybe.
Yeah, that's brash.
Yeah.
And then crass is
we define words here. This is the podcast where we define all the words.
the definition.
Teeter-toddler,
podcast.
Brash.
Yeah, we're getting
What
down
else?
to it. Yeah, what other words can we define?
Chill. We were talking about chill guy.
We were talking about chill guy. Oh yeah. So one thing that's interesting about, no, it's the same for girls too. There is like a haircut that's like a chill. Like girls.
I think this is my new chill haircut.
Do you feel more chill with that haircut?
Yes,
Do you feel like it projects the chillness?
I think so. I was like, I feel like I've realized that if you're chill, you gotta let people know.
Yeah. Yeah. When I grew my hair out after the Air Force, that's what I was like. I remember my hair being down to my shoulders, and I was like, long hair means you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, you're projecting, like, and letting people know that you're like not part of this shit.
I used to think that people basing their, I still kind of think this, but people basing their judgment on you off of like the first impression or like surface level things, like I don't really like that. Like I don't really like that about people. Like when I worked at a dispensary, like everyone had tattoos and piercings and colored hair and like all this stuff, and I don't have that. Like I feel like I'm not completely like
Oh, you're not tattooed head to toe?
Well, it's not like I look type A or something, but I didn't have that, and I did feel like kind of like, like I almost kind of don't seem like I fit in, even though inside I felt like I did because I was like very relaxed person, but
chill guy.
I'm a chill guy. But here's the thing, like, I feel like there's a lot of pressure, I think, to be like, you got to project outward in a certain way so that people know like who you are inside, because I would get comments of like
Mulan.
What do you mean?
Mulan.
Oh.
When will my reflection show?
Oh, I thought you meant. I was like, yeah, that's why she dressed like a man and let people know she's strong. Yeah, when will my reflection show? Right.
Who I am inside.
That's why I told you I'm gonna be an alien in 10 years. I'm gonna show people.
That's what's inside.
Yeah, but yeah, don't you feel like that kind of is like?
Do I feel like an alien?
No, like, don't you feel like? Yeah, like, don't you feel like that's kind of I don't know, a bit of like an unfortunate thing about humans, like how much we base on just like the outside, like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, how much you judge somebody
people.
right off the bat, and you kind of refer to your stereotypes and your beliefs. But it's all like experience based too. But that's one of the kind of cool things, I guess, about growing and progressing is realizing that those aren't always true, and then trying to like recognize that in yourself and then make your judgment off of things that are deeper. Because it's an automatic thing. Like as soon as you see somebody, like, oh, There's their
Yeah.
hair, their face, their outfit, their, jewelry, tattoos, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you start talking and you realize like, oh, this person has, done this or done that and they think this way. Or they're a complete idiot and they fit the stereotype that you thought they were going to be like. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, now you've confirmed it.
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
Yep.
Yes.
I won't say it out loud that you're a stereotype, but I'll think it.
Yeah, you an NPC, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, NPC versus like online. I talked to my students about that too. Because like some of them are really mindful and aware of what's going on. Other ones are complete idiots. And I feel like I was like 24 when that happened to me. So I felt like that's when I became a person.
When you, what exactly happened when you were 24?
I learned about mindfulness. And I learned about
mindfulness, yeah.
like self-awareness, not from like a self-defense point of view, but from like a outside looking in, from like a outside view, kind of like how are my actions and behaviors perceived by others. I never thought about that before.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad it finally happened.
They call that metacognition, of like you can think about your thought, like think about the thoughts you're having, like kind of seeing outside of yourself, and not everyone can do it.
Yeah, it really helps with driving.
Yeah.
Because the kids get anybody that's like new, they get really freaked out and they start to do things that are not safe or correct. And so I have to try and I'm like, hey, like pay attention to what you're doing. Like really think about your hand and your feet and what you're looking at and where we're going.
Just be engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
You're basically teaching them how to be in the flow, like
Yeah.
a flow state.
Yeah, that's cool. That's true.
It's so hard for people, including myself, to stay in the flow state. I'm actually like shocked on an like very often that like there aren't more car accidents on the daily than there are. I'm like, how are
Well, it's the
these
flow
people?
state.
What you say?
They're in it. People are in it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That people like that's great.
Because this is what I tell new drivers, because they get hesitant at intersections and they want to wait for another car to do something and base their reaction off of it.
Yep.
And what I tell them, and I go, hey, look, like you're a new driver, so you might not have experienced this yet, or you might have had it happen to you a little bit. But everybody out here, I think it's going to sound crazy, but they're driving on autopilot. Like everybody drives the same route every day. They go to the store, they go to work, go to the gym, pick their kids up. So they're not thinking about driving because they're used to it. So if you make them snap out of their autopilot, that's when people make bad decisions and get into accidents, things like that. So that's what I just try to warn them about. I'm like, you got to do the right thing, because if you do something weird, that makes somebody else go, like, what's that? And then that's where it gets crazy.
Yeah. That's why I don't drive. The first day I got my license, I got in an accident.
Did you?
Because I was super indecisive. I was like, I don't know which way to go, so I'll just go right in the middle.
Crash.
And just fucking.
Did you hit a person or a
No.
car or a?
Wouldn't it be funny if like this was the moment that I revealed finally to another human that I committed manslaughter?
Vehicular
manslaughter.
Involuntary vehicular homicide.
Oh, it was voluntary.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was no, I just flattened 2 tires.
What did you hit? Did you curb?
Like a curb.
Bum, bum.
It sucked.
It's wicked loud. I've been in the car that popped 2 tires.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I've been in a car that also got T-boned by 2 other cars.
That's scary.
It was
T-boned
it was scary.
is tough.
And what they say is true. It does come at you in slow motion. I experienced slow motion. There's just, there's a lot of proof out there that time isn't real, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it's a
But yeah.
construct, right?
Time isn't real, dude. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that it's like it has to do with gravity and the way we spin around the sun and the way it's perceived.
All those factors, yeah.
Yeah. It's wild stuff.
I mean, I feel like I can't talk to specific like physics of phenomena. I'm not a very good like a person of like in terms of the science of physics and particularly like that or chemistry, but I feel like I like to like think about like the philosophy of like a situation or like it's like time.
Like the quantum side of things, right? Like the quantum physics, where it's a lot more like particle based and a lot more theory based versus.
See, I still don't understand that stuff. Yeah.
Well, here's the good news, Melly, is nobody is expecting that from you.
Why? Because I'm a woman.
No.
Uh?
Because it's not what you project. Or
I don't project.
You've never talked about or said anything about like metaphysics
But
or
do
science.
No, I talk about science. I talk about
the
biology.
Cambrian explosion.
I love
That's
evolution. I'll talk about evolution all
that's
day.
what I'm saying. So
I'll talk about psychology all day.
And you're known for those things because you talk about them.
Man, I should get into it. I don't like being predictable. I got to get into physics now. I switch it up on you.
All right, Neil deGrasse Tyson over here.
Fuck Tyson.
Like, oh, you don't think I know shit about physics? Guess what?
Yeah,
I bought his. He wrote a book.
I can't even make a joke because I don't know anything about physics.
He wrote a book called like Physics for People in a Hurry or like Metaphysics.
Physics for Retards.
Yeah, pretty much. And I bought it, and I was like, because I listened to him on Rogan's podcast when he like wrote it, and I went to a bookstore and I bought it. I got totally influenced, and I read like 2 pages, and it was still made no sense.
I remember you let me borrow one. You're like, this is the only book I've read. Yeah. And so I know that you've only read one book. I need to give it back to you.
It's okay.
Because I'm not going to read it.
It's too intense for you?
Well, it's just like some guy going like, wake the fuck up in the morning. You got to get out there and show them what the fuck you got. Like, it's just...
And then he equates it to like prison stories and fighting in the yard.
I know.
Like, that's why it resonates with me so much.
Maybe I would listen to him like on a podcast, but I feel like...
It sounds just
it
like
was
that.
hard
You
to
just described
read
him on a podcast.
this book. Yeah, no, but okay, but you can be going back to chill guy. We're gonna talk about chill guy.
All right.
You can be a chill guy and still wake up early in the morning, still get everything that you want to get done, be a disciplined person. In fact, that is really important to being a chill guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people who experience and then express their emotions in an undisciplined manner are not chill people.
That's true.
And so you have to do that in order to be a chill guy. You have to be like, here's my code for how to exist as a human. I'm going to stick to my code.
Marcus Aurelius style.
Marcus Aurelius style. Yeah. It would be a real dream if we could have like a society of chill guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It would be a different world.
It would be a beautiful world. Let's see. You wouldn't have people like casting so many judgments on you all the time. You could just kind of do what you want and not feel like people's eyes aren't on you. And then like you could like, I don't know, laugh about really dumb stuff all the time. You can enjoy the existence of bugs with each other. You can talk about, you don't have to shoot guns anymore. You can just, like I said to you earlier, you don't shoot the guns. Just go to the ocean and look at the ocean. That you could do that instead.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Maybe if I could like smash like 2 big rocks together over my head
in
the ocean and
go,
that,
ooh, ooh, ooh. You could do that.
That might suffice. But I don't know. The bang of a gun is a good intrinsic
Here's the thing:
sensation.
as soon as a gun was invented, that's it. I fully understand. We can't go back now.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those things. It's like this is. People are not gonna want to not shoot a gun now. Now that you, it's like the fucking
once you
fruit.
felt the sensation,
It's like the fruit
you
of
want to feel it again.
Yeah, it's like the Garden of Eden. You know? But that's the thing. We were like, animals of God in the Garden of Eden, and we were like the other animals, and then we invented guns, and now we're no longer in the fucking garden, and we can't go back to, of course.
Genesis chapter 2. We invented guns, and it all went south from there.
I don't really know, like, I grew up we both grew up Catholic, but I will say I have some trouble remembering like what part of the Bible's what, like Ecclesiastes.
Well, I hope you know I was making a joke just then, right? Chapter 2 Genesis is not the invention of guns by mankind.
I know, but then I'm like, oh yeah, Genesis. That's what we're talking about, right? Yeah, but it is indeed.
Yeah,
it's
the first one.
Yes, the first. Open a book, bitch. Genesis is the first one. I'm so glad I'm not. When was the moment you realized you were not Catholic?
when my mom ripped me out of Catholic school because the priests were banging the kids.
Oh, Marianne knew.
Yeah, she was like, "We're done with all
She's a real
of this."
one for that.
Yeah, my grandmother came from Ireland, so I've kind of similar. Your mother came over, but I have similar experiences where I've been to Ireland many times and
Yeah.
spent time on farms and have a lot of family over there. So I've been in houses and done all kinds of more like cultural things than just being a tourist. So yeah, we just kind of followed. My grandmother was very devout, went to church, read the Bible all the time, and she also would like go to the hospital and give the communion to elderly people and also to like sick children.
Mm-hmm.
So she was all about it, and it was really
cool.
It was really impressive.
Yeah.
And so that's like the good side of it. That's like the positive side of religion is like the community and like the faith and helping others. But then they had to go and get real dark and twisted with it.
Yeah.
And that's when my mom was just like, no. Like, I went to private school. I went to St. Mary's Star of the Sea in Beverly here. And we would go to church and wear uniforms and do the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
And then I went to public school. My first day of public school, I got my shoes stolen.
That sucks.
Yeah, I got tabletopped by 2 girls.
What?
One girl got on her hands and knees behind me in the schoolyard, and the other girl
That's
came
so
up
mean.
and pushed me over. And
Damn.
they got up and they took my shoes off my feet.
That's awful. I was
Yeah.
one of those kinds of girls. I did bully boys sometimes.
Yeah, they got me.
That sucks.
Yeah. I walked into school and some teacher was like, well, where are your shoes? And I was just like, those girls over there have them.
Oh no, they were asserting their dominance.
Oh, yeah,
over you.
They did. They totally got me.
That's hilarious. But, that probably wasn't a good introduction to the new world of public school for you.
It wasn't, but it also was, because it was a rude awakening to let me know that it was.
Yeah,
Not.
shit is real.
Yeah, 'cause
You're
private
in our
school-
turf.
Private school is just like the same group. So like kindergarten to like 6th grade, I was with the same like 25 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to public school and there's 500 kids there that
That's
all
like my
different
experience.
backgrounds.
Yeah. Same here. Completely same here. It's fucking weird. Like, the setup is like, like kindergarten. Like, you're with the same people from like you're 4 years old until like, 8th grade. So like 14 years old. It's really weird. And like, did you ever see like a jailbird phenomena happen where you would like people would just get crushes on like different people over the years? Like,
Oh, because you're all in the same
yeah,
group?
so you just have to find a new person to have a crush on.
Yeah.
Like, here's my 4th choice.
Yeah, my high school was also actually kind of like that. I went to a technical high school, and there was like 90 kids in the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it was maybe like 15, 20 girls or so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even less than that. Who knows?
They say that schools with like a larger ratio of like like males to female they'll be like more likely to commit to those girls in a relationship. So like you'll find like long-term relationships occurring more often because it's like you want to claim the girl from like the horde of men around you.
Yeah, classic societal struggle.
And then the opposite, like with the opposite situation.
Yeah, they're like, there's like 65 dudes here, so
Yeah.
you're not cutting it.
Yeah.
I got options.
Yeah. Or like I went to art school and it was like predominantly women, like girls. Yeah. And so I think people are more likely to just be in like hookup situations. But anyway.
When you were in school, did you ever get in a fight?
What kind of fight?
Any kind, like maybe like, and let's go physical. Any physical interactions you ever like
I
punch somebody in the face or get your hair pulled?
I don't think I've ever gotten in a physical fight with someone. I can think of like one thing of when I was a kid and like there was this bitch named Tanya and I was like,
that's a bitch name.
Right? We were like 7 and she knew that I loved bees. So she like killed a bee in front of me and made me cry. And then one time we were all playing a game. It was like summer camp. We were all playing a game and I bit her.
Nice.
And then she tattled on me.
So, we were talking about fighting in school.
Oh, yeah.
And you said there was a girl named Big Rhonda?
No. No. She might as well have been, but like an Italian version.
Okay, so what was that?
Easty Italian trash.
Rhonda.
But she like,
What
yeah.
was it? Can you remind me of her name again?
Oh, Tanya.
Tanya.
I don't know. I was like, oh, maybe he's making a joke. I'll just
both.
let him make the. I was being too nice. No, but she like killed a bee in front of me.
Dang, that's Mike Tyson's origin story. He had his bully killed it's a little bit more drastic, killed one of his pigeons in front of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then he was like, I need to learn how to kick people's ass.
Yes. Actually, there is this scene from Hey Arnold that I watched when I was a little girl that taught me how to not get bullied. Did you watch Hey Arnold growing up?
Absolutely.
Do you know in Hey Arnold that episode when he was like, when that bully told him he was gonna like basically like kill him after school and stuff, and he was like so stressed out about it, and then at the end he like he does this whole like funk performance where he's just like, don't hit me, I'll hit me, I'm crazy. Like I remembered watching that and like my brain switching on, being like it was like, it felt so right to me. And I have not had a lot of experiences with being like bullied in school, and I think it's because people were intimidated that like, I think they knew I was weird and like that I could be crazy. So they didn't want to like, fuck with me. But I love that. I love people not fucking with me. And
That's great.
I want people to know they can't fuck with me. And
That's
so
good.
it's good to project that.
Yeah.
But like, you don't have to actually be crazy. Like the whole point of that episode is Arnold's not actually crazy. He's just, is just projecting that.
Projecting.
Yeah. But, anyway, but yeah, she did do that. She did like kill the bee in front of me, so she did try to bully me.
Dang.
And then I bit her.
Hell yeah.
And then she like, what's the word?
What grade were you in when this happened?
I
12th grade, 11th grade?
No, I could have been 7, maybe 8. But like, yeah. And then she tattled on me, and they were like, "You can't bite somebody." And
Dang.
I was
And
just
you're
like,
this bitch killed a bee.
she killed the bee, and I didn't tattle on her when she did it. But honestly, I try to avoid fights. With people, I'm not really like, I don't fight people. Like, I don't really like to fight people at all.
It's good. I mean, most people don't, right? But it does happen. And it can,
Yeah.
especially in school. That's why I asked. I was just curious of you. Did you ever see any girls fight? Did you ever like any like locker room or like gym class or anything you can think of? Any memorable girl fights? Cat fights? Hair pulling, scratching, screaming.
No,
yelling,
I don't think I grew up like that. I don't know.
It happens everywhere.
I went to Catholic school, and then I went to this public school that was an exam school, and definitely that kind of ratchet shit was not happening. But maybe if I ended up going to Eastie High or something, I would have seen that kind of thing.
What is an exam school?
It's like you take a test to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Something, or maybe I'm wrong about the
Sounds right to me.
verbiage. But yeah, I like, honestly, the most aggressive stuff I've seen is in my own household. I will say it's not out in these screens.
Well, all right then.
But yeah, yeah, I try to make it a point not to engage in fighting or even arguing now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
I don't think so.
You should try it.
Yeah, I would like it, I think.
It's an interesting experience. They're big, and humans are like nothing to them either. So I've only ridden on a horse one time. It was in Mexico. It was like a tourist kind of thing. But we got to ride down the beach, and so that was really cool because you gallop. So you're on this horse like going as fast as the horse can go, and it's a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've ever ridden a horse. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I mean, I probably would now if I was on like some kind of like dude ranch or like a Midwestern adventure. But I'm not about to go sign up for horse riding lessons or anything.
Oh yeah, I would love to try it one day. Like, those things tourists do when they like go horse riding on a beach or something. That sounds cute.
Yeah, It was definitely cute. That was what I was thinking the whole time.
I'm on the horse the whole time. This is cute. This is cute. This is cute. Yeah. I love animals. I want to like climb on them. So I'll try to do that one day.
Yeah. How about an elephant? You ridden on an elephant?
I was just thinking about that. Like, no, I have not. I would love to meet an elephant though. They're such emotional creatures. They're so intelligent. And I bet you can see a lot of like their emotions in their eyes. So I just kind of want to like make eye contact with the elephant really badly.
With just their one eye.
Yeah, because they're looking at, you can only see one side of them at a time maybe.
I saw them. I've ridden on elephants, and I've seen them at a sanctuary in Thailand.
I want to go to Thailand.
Thailand's beautiful. That's the best place to interact with elephants. Well, maybe like Africa would be neat, but you can't really like hang out with them the way you do. Because the ones in Thailand they're smaller. Like African elephants are huge. They got the big ears and tusks and everything.
And since it was a sanctuary, they're probably kind of happy, right? Like
they're super chill.
They were doing,
so
that's good.
The first time when I rode on them, that was in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was right around the time when they started to like get exposed online, like a big social media push to like stop riding them came out because they were being abused or not treated the best, and they would be chained up, and they also guide them with like a hook. It's like a bamboo stick that has a metal hook on the end, and they like hit them behind the ears. It's not necessarily like painful, but it is painful. It's a metal hook like poking them, so it's not a hit, but it's like a guiding, still a nuisance. And people just kind of realize, like, elephants don't want to walk in circles and have people on their backs.
Yeah.
So what they did is they banned it. They banned riding them, and then the tourism business turned to sanctuary. And it was a much funner experience, too, because instead of riding them in a circle, you get to, like, go out to, like, a jungle pasture, and then they come out through the jungle, and then you feed them bananas, and you take them to a river.
That's
and
so cute.
You scrub them and everything.
Yeah, I would give anything to feed an elephant a banana.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that sounds adorable. Yeah, there's a lot of animals I'd like to meet. There's a lot of...
Top 3.
Oh. I'd love to meet a whale or a dolphin.
They're smart, too. You could actually have some kind of a tangible experience.
They're like, especially dolphins, they're as intelligent as we are.
Do you know about that lady that was like in love with her dolphin? She did some kind of an experiment and like gave it acid or something.
Oh, okay. No, I know that
one?
I don't know if I've heard about that. I do know that they are very sexual beings, dolphins. So I imagine it wasn't that hard to have a relationship with the dolphin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you really got to kind of question yourself when you're driving to work, though. You're like, oh, I miss my dolphin, or you're like,
you don't think I miss my dolphin. You're like, I miss, you're like, he has a name and everything. Like, come on, this guy has a whole life.
So dolphins, whales, what else would you like to interact with? Would you like to meet? That's an interesting way to put it.
A seal.
All aquatic animals at this point. You could just literally go to the beach, Melly, and just see a
No, it's
seal.
so hard. I've tried.
You can go whale watch right out of Gloucester. You'll see them.
It's really hard to find sea creatures at the sea. And I will say this. I go to the sea a lot. I go to the ocean a lot. And I'm always trying to find sea creatures. I have found the past few years, one sand dollar and one spider crab. That was amazing. When I found the spider crab, it was like winning the lottery. But I really don't find creatures that much. Like, but yeah. And then I've seen seals, but you can't get close to them because they're very skittish. But it'd be nice to like.
You could probably build a friendship up with one.
That's
like
what
Disney
I want.
movie.
Yeah, that's what I want, is to like connect with one. And I just get tired of humans. Like, I feel like they're all around me, and like it's so boring. And
that's interesting that you're interacting with humans, and in the back of your head you're just like, I wish you were a seal.
That's so. There's many humans that I've talked to where I'm like, I would rather be talking to a seal for sure. Like probably most.
I think that you can get there. There's apps to like, because they track like sharks, like the great white sharks and stuff. You can find an app to track them. And we had a seal in Beverly for a while. I don't know if you saw that on the news. His name was Shoebert. There was like a water access here that goes to the ocean, and he swam all the way up the tube, and he stayed in this pond for like probably 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And they tried to catch him, and then he wouldn't. He like was super evasive, and so they were like, all right, he came in here, maybe he'll get himself out. And what he actually did was he got out of the water, and he did a little seal hop all the way to the police station. How did he know where to go?
Wait, what?
Is crazy. Exactly.
I think it's just kind of funny because I'm thinking of the seal being like, I'm gonna call the cops on these assholes. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, there's something funny about him going to the police.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to swim, and these people are trying to put me in a net and harass me.
Yeah.
But then they rescued him. They sent him out to the, they put him in a aquarium for a little bit, and then they saw that he was healthy, and then they sent him out to the ocean. But he had a tracker on him, so people in Beverly like could see where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually came back to the area.
I know that like because of like higher level, like, you know, higher amounts of like seals, there have been higher amounts of sharks, and like I think they like found great white somewhere, maybe off Gloucester or something, or like kind of nearby. I don't know, but that's actually like, I am like extremely afraid of like running into a shark in the ocean.
They are out there. Would you shark dive? Would you do one of those kind of tourist things where you go in the cage underwater and they bump up and see what's up?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try that someday too.
I could do that. You know, the older I get, the more I'm like, let's do it. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm trying to face my fears more. I went on like a really scary roller coaster this summer, so I'm really out here facing my fears. And I was on a paddleboard, and I was kind of going far out, and I was like terrified the whole time.
You're like, this is where the sharks might be.
Exactly, but so this is, come on, we're gonna become aliens. We're facing our fears. Let's go.
It's beautiful. Melly, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
No
This is
problem.
great that you're doing this.
Thank you very much. You're an excellent comedian and a very funny clown and an excellent artist.
Thank you.
Can you let people know where they can find you, your social media, where they can see you doing stand-up?
Yes. Follow me on Instagram at Parvo The Wise, PARVO the WISE. No space, no nothing.
We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, if you can read, that's better than me trying to spell it out for you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.